Okay, let's get started. I'm Jay Kinder, and I'm going to share with you why two highly successful independent brokerages coming off their best years ever joined eXp Realty, and how now they're more profitable than ever and have a built-in exit strategy. So welcome to the eXp Explained. This is exclusively for independent brokerages, former franchise owners, and teams. Before we begin the presentation, I want to give you a little background story on why this could be the most valuable 30 minutes you invest in your entire career. Mercifully brief introduction. My name is Jay Kinder, and my best year ever, I sold 531 homes and have sold well over 4,000 homes and counting. I was #2 in the world for Coldwell Banker, founded a company, the National Association of Expert Advisors, and Kinder Reese Coaching, which was on the Inc. 5000 list for 6 years in a row. And we started our own brokerage, myself and Michael Reese, and we built that to 272 transactions in the first 12 months in Dallas, Texas. And we had 8 agents in that company, and we were in the process of scaling that business nationwide when a good friend of mine, who I'll introduce you to here shortly, Al Stasik, had asked me to poke holes in this business model called eXp. And that should be reason enough alone to listen to what I'm about to share with you. Even though we've had tremendous success, though, for the last 10 years, we've always been telling ourselves one thing, and that is there's got to be a better way. If you're watching this right now and you have a mega agent team or you own your own brokerage, there is a better way, and you're about to see it. The reason we all got into real estate, I believe, is to have a better life. We can show you or your agents how to sell more homes. That's the easy part. I think we've got a really good track record of performance in doing that. But is that really the goal? I think the goal for most of everybody that's probably watching this is to have more freedom. And the freedom to take weekends off and spend more time with family, the freedom to do more of whatever it is that you would do if you had more time, freedom to add value and enrich other people's lives. And ultimately, I believe that's where we all find more happiness and fulfillment in life, is when we're able to give back and add more value to people's lives. But what if this new real estate platform really completely changed everything for you? What if this new platform would allow you to finally step out of production and still maintain your profitability? And what if this platform completely solved your recruiting and retention challenges? What if this new platform created a new passive income stream that compounded monthly? What if this new platform allowed you to keep your current brand but removed all your broker responsibilities and liability? What if this new platform provided over 40 hours of training every week for your agents so you didn't have to? And what if this new platform provided world-class technology for all of your agents and dramatically lowered all of your costs? And what if this new platform even offered health insurance for your agents? What if this new platform had no growth restrictions and you could grow beyond your current market, state lines, or even globally? What if this new platform put you in business with other like-minded industry leaders with a proven track record for success and incentivized them to help you grow your business? What if this new platform wasn't a franchise, had no royalties, no desk fees, or no franchise fees? What if this new platform allowed you to create a sellable asset so that you and your agents have a real exit strategy when it's time to retire? All of this sound too good to be true? When I was first told about eXp, I ignored it. Someone I trusted shared it with me, and I still only watched half the presentation. Thankfully, on my son's 4th birthday, Albie Stasik got my attention by telling me he was considering moving his entire brokerage to eXp Realty. He asked me as a friend to poke holes in the business model. If you watch this entire video and you remain completely open-minded, there's no question in my mind that you're going to see a better way to accomplish your goals. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So, Mr. Al Stasik, you here with us?
Hey, Jay, yes.
Why don't you give a little bit of your background as far as your story?
Absolutely. Well, I started my career off actually 21 years ago with Century 21. Since then, I helped a startup here in Cleveland, Ohio, but ultimately ended up starting my team at RE/MAX and ended up in their Hall of Fame. We're the #1 RE/MAX team in our market. And after a little while, we loved RE/MAX. I never actually thought I'd leave RE/MAX, but I wasn't getting the value that I felt for all the fees that were soon approaching, close to $100,000 in annual fees to RE/MAX. So we ended up ultimately going independent. And I did that in 2013. We currently operate about a $50 million team out of Cleveland. I was a Kinder Reese coaching client for many years, which is why my business grew the way it did, doubled and doubled and doubled and doubled again. Ultimately started working with you guys side by side as one of your coaches. Then I co-founded Appointments Today. We grew that to $1 million call center where we literally had set tens of thousands of listing appointments for agents here in the U.S. and Canada. Since then, I've actually sold that business, and now I'm here partnered with you and Mike and eXp, having the time of my life.
Awesome.
Yeah. So if you're going to get the most out of this presentation, Ray Dalio wrote a book called Principles, and his number one principle is being radically open-minded, which means assuming whatever you think right now might be wrong. If you think that you've heard eXp, or maybe you have heard of eXp from another agent or another person about the company, and think that this isn't for you, my recommendation is that you listen twice as hard to what we're about to show you. So question one, you should be asking yourself right now, why in the world would 3 successful real estate agents and brokers who've spent the last 20 years building 5 businesses that collectively were bringing in over $14 million in annual revenue stop what they're doing and align all of their time, energy, resources to eXp Realty? And we aren't the only ones that see it. Vincent Koo, Veronica Figueroa, Brent Gove, Tom Daves, Gil Ramos. These are all leaders in their markets. Curtis Johnson, Chuck Fazio, Dan Beer, the #1 Southern California Keller Williams agent, Kyle Whistle, Kevin Kaufman and Fred Weaver. All of these leaders in their markets saw what we saw and joined the movement, and none of them are looking back.
So we'll kick this off with an introduction to eXp Realty, the real estate cloud brokerage. And like I said before, once you see it, you can't unsee it. So open your mind. I think one of the things that's most important as you're thinking about this opportunity is, and Michael Reese gives a great analogy of fish. Fish understand everything that's below the surface of the water and nothing that's above the surface of the water. And if you would have asked me, hey, Jay, are you interested in joining a brokerage as an independent that came from Coldwell Banker and had paid literally hundreds of thousands in fees to Coldwell Banker a year, there was no reason that I could think of in my mind why in the world I would ever move my brokerage to another franchise. There just wasn't a reason for me to pay those fees. And I would have said, no, I'm not interested. So, and what I mean by with the fish analogy is this is a business model that's never existed before because nobody's ever seen anything like it. And it happens when when there's something disruptive that happens in an industry, change happens, and we don't often see that change until it's actually already disrupted an industry. And we're at the very beginning of this opportunity, and I'd like to kind of talk about innovation and how it's always happening, and looking at, well, what is really truly disruptive in other industries, and think about, well, why do we love Netflix? Why do we all binge watch things on Netflix? Because it's just more convenient than driving to a Blockbuster to get your media. And why do we love Amazon? I got 4 or 5 packages a day that get delivered from Amazon. Why is that so disruptive? Well, because it's so much more convenient than going into multiple retail stores to buy whatever it is, the things are that you need. Why do we love Uber or Lyft? Well, it's much more convenient than waiting on a taxi cab and having someone pick you up anywhere, no matter where you're at. All from your phone, you can click a button and have someone pick you up. And why is eXp disruptive as a cloud-based real estate brokerage or a real estate office in the cloud? Is because you can get much more training and much more support in a cloud-based model than you can in a bricks and mortar model. And it's just much more convenient. It's just better than having to drive into the office to get support, training, and the tools and the things that you need. If you could get all of that from your phone, just like everything else we do in our lives, it's going to be a lot more convenient and a lot better. And it's just a better way. So that's what's innovative about this model.
So let's talk about the eXp world. And I got to be honest, Jay, when I first was introduced to the eXp world and actually went into the 3D immersive platform, I thought it was a little bit strange. I got to be honest. I'm not a video gamer. I don't necessarily come from that new era of kids who are constantly on the video games and this and that. But when it clicked for me was when I actually went in there the second time. And that's when it clicked, when I understood that it was because of this cloud that it exists where you can get this real-time support. If I have a question on tech, if I have a question for accounting, I literally just walk in there, hit the button, get a number, and I get taken, when it's my turn, I get taken right in there. I'm not waiting for an email to be returned. I'm not waiting for someone to call me back. I'm actually getting my support in real time. That was something that I couldn't even offer my independent broker, my agents when I had my independent brokerage. Every department specialized. So depending on whatever your need is, you walk into that office virtually, again, hit the button, you're next in line, and you get literally teleported right in. You're sitting face to face with one of the support staff, who I like to call it that they literally treat their agents like going through Chick-fil-A. If you haven't been through Chick-fil-A, I recommend it. But if you have, you understand that you get treated like kind of like royalty. I mean, they really roll out a red carpet and have really changed the experience of what you would think of if you were going to go through and get a chicken sandwich through a fast food. You feel you feel special. They speak to you a certain way, and that's exactly how the staff here at eXp are. The team collaboration, there's team rooms where you can meet and have meetings with your team. We meet with our team every morning at 8:15 in meeting room number 5 and do our huddle for 15 minutes. The information sharing, of course, the training. There's absolutely no way to train. And right at this moment of the recording, we're at over 25,000 agents here at eXp. There's no way to train all of them in a fast, easy, cohesive way, other than having the eXp world and this cloud campus that eXp's created.
Yeah, and I would add this one thing. So if you're an independent brokerage, which is, you really shouldn't be watching this unless you're either, own a brokerage or a team or have owned a franchise or whatnot. But this is the support system that used to be you for your agents, that takes over and essentially provides the real-time support for all of your agents. So there's always somebody there available to answer their questions, and that doesn't necessarily be something that you have to continue to do. You would probably still want to do that for your agents when they have questions and they want to come to you. Obviously, they're going to do that. But this is just another layer of support that you have that's being provided for your company, for your team, and for your agents. So eXp University. So one of the things that I found amazing, and you can jump in here from a cell phone. You can jump in here from a laptop, which you're kind of looking at the laptop version there, but you see the cell phone version as well. You can jump in any of these rooms and any of these trainings. And actually, last Monday I was looking at this, and there was I think they set a record that day. It was 21 hours of training on Monday. So your agents literally have access to 21 hours of live interactive training on one day. That was on Monday. So what they're touting right now is more than 40 hours a week of live training each week. It's probably well in excess of that at this point. But literally, there's not a topic that your agents aren't going to have access to, with top agents from around the country, and all kinds of additional training around every topic you could possibly imagine is going on in real time. And the best part about it is they're all recorded. So if you can't make one of these trainings, they'll be recorded and archived, and you can go watch it later.
Jay, I'm not sure if you know this, and I'll just tail this on. They're now getting CE courses approved to be actually taken in the cloud, and that's in process right now. I don't believe that they actually have them yet. But NAR is, they're working with NAR right now to get certain CE classes approved for agents, where they're not going to have to get up, get dressed, fight traffic, do their hair and everything that they would normally have to do to go attend a live CE class like in a physical building. They'll actually be able to do it virtually. That's, again, every day there's something new being announced that's just going to make it easier and better for agents. And so, so let me just talk through a little bit of the explosive growth, and I'll kind of go fast through this, but just to this is like the 10-year overnight success. I think everybody's hearing about the success of eXp, but really it started 10 years ago when Glenn Stanford founded this company. It was 10 years ago. This was 2 years after the iPhone. So to think about a cloud-based company at that time was really he's a thought leader for sure, but just thinking he was seeing around the corner as far as being disruptive. In 2013, eXp World Holdings became a publicly traded company, and we'll talk more about that and the opportunity it creates for you to have ownership later in this presentation. In 2015, eXp exceeded 650 agents. By 2017,
we exceeded 6,500 agents and expanded to 47 states and 2 Canadian provinces. That was around the time that we had joined, a little bit right around that point. And in 2018, eXp was uplisted to NASDAQ. So that was a huge accomplishment from a trading volume standpoint, playing with the big boys, if, so to speak. And then from 2019 and beyond, we're actually now at over 25,000 agents going into 2020. And we're continuing to expand through all the provinces of Canada, I think except for one, all 50 states, and now Australia, UK, and other global opportunities to open up countries around the globe.
Yeah, and enterprise is one of those things that we log into several times a day. You wouldn't think you would, but you'll see the reason why a little bit later in our presentation as to why, we're literally logging into this from our phones, our laptops every day to literally see the back office. It's almost like having a CFO view of your business. Your agents can log in and see any of their transactions that they have going on in real time. They can see where they're at with those transactions and get, see if there's broker approval on them and whatnot. And you as a team leader or as a broker can actually go back and you can see your revenue share. You can see the amount of stock that you've been able to accumulate, all from an easy platform. And it's a one login and done thing. From that one login, you can log in, like I said, to Enterprise or any of the other apps that are going to be available in our technology suites. So again, I said that this already, but you can see the details of your agents, commissions, their cap statuses. You can review equity awards, any awards that you would have won of stock, and real-time performance awards. SkySlope is the cloud-based software that we turn our transactions in for approval. So you can, again, review all documents, all transactions from any device, mobile or your desktop. It'll also allow you to sign electronic documents digitally from your phone or from a laptop and literally just run your business with the highest amount of security without any paper.
Workplace by Facebook. This is probably the most misunderstood and most valuable tool that eXp has from a collaboration standpoint. I was actually going through this. So we all know how to use Facebook. And so Workplace by Facebook is essentially where all the communication happens at eXp. If you had a question, I saw a post in there the other day where an agent was like, hey, I need a broker, to call me right away. And, it was kind of an emergency type situation, you could tell. And somebody, posted below, hey, call this assistant broker, here's her number, whatever. And then that was like within 3 minutes. And then underneath that, the reply to that, she had made, already just got off the phone with her thanks, right? So literally immediately she got the help she was needing because she's a part of the state group. You join your state group, you join your local city group or whatever it might be, the city that you're in. Like I'm in Dallas and there's a North Texas group that I'm a part of. I'm a part of the Dallas group and I'm a part of the Texas group, right? So I can ask questions in these groups and that's my go-to place. When I have a question about something, that's where I go. There's lead generation groups. There's any kind of group you can possibly imagine of where agents would focus on niches. Maybe it's commercial real estate or whatever the case may be. But when you have questions, you can go in there and search for that particular question and see if somebody's already asked it and get the answer immediately. Or you can ask those questions and get literally real-time answers from people that are, on their phone or in the group and actively engaging. So you're always literally just a click away from whatever it is you're looking for. You can discuss different topics and projects. You can share announcements. All the announcements, probably the announcement that you just shared earlier, Al, was probably something that came through on eXp Workplace. So I'm getting notifications of things that are going on in the company. Communicate instantly with your team and others across the company. One thing that I love is I found that the state brokers, some of them like to be communicated through eXp through the chat channel. That's what they prefer. And so other people in the company may have a different method that they like, shooting them an email or whatever, but you can always get to people and communicate with them quickly and easily. And leveraging Workplace by Facebook has been one of the best things that I love about this company.
Yeah, one of the things that I guess I was concerned about in joining a cloud-based company was culture. And how do we all stay connected if there's no offices to go into? The truth of the matter is we kept our office here in Cleveland, Ohio. I know some don't. Some say, hey, no one comes into my office and our lease is up, and they shut it down and save themselves tens of thousands of dollars every year. but how would the culture even exist when, you know, it's a cloud-based company? Well, it's actually better than when it's non-cloud-based, because the way we communicate is through this workplace or even the cloud, and everyone is in there collaborating, everyone's in there cheering everyone on. And so I was pleasantly surprised when this came along, and just hearing the feedback from the agents and how much they love. The number one thing that agents love is the collaboration that happens, and that's all happening in workplace, and anybody can use it because it's as easy as Facebook. Yeah, so let me talk a little bit about the CRM and lead generation. This is something that my agents love taking advantage of because it costs them no extra money to take advantage of the CRM. KV Core is the name of the CRM that every agent that joins gets. It's a powerful platform. It has all the bells and whistles of one of these expensive platforms that agents would have to literally go out and spend $700 a month to up to $1,400 a month to get the same thing that you get for the $85 per month monthly fee, which is, we'll get into that a little bit later in the presentation, but that's the only thing that it costs for all of this technology, including this amazing lead generation system. You can also pay if you'd like to, if an agent would like to drive traffic and leads. eXp has formed a program that's called Make It Rain, where they can choose whatever budget they want, and eXp handles, their staff handles running all the ads and driving traffic and literally making it rain leads for your agents.
Yeah, the technology is truly incredible, and it's a huge value add. And if, you know, from a broker standpoint, if you're having to pay to provide technology, you know, to your agents, that's something that you would save money on under this platform if you moved over to eXp. From a marketing and branding perspective, this is something that I was just really, quite honestly, shocked. I think they're creating literally thousands of marketing pieces for agents every single month using this simple platform they built that has templates for anything and everything you've ever imagined. Whether you want to have social media posts for your new listings, or a new flyer to go out to, to a brochure box, or whatever the case may be, door hangers, everything you can think of from a marketing perspective, the templates are there. It automatically puts your information in, and you just upload the simple, the pictures and the things that you want in those. And it's done right then and there. And then you can either ship that to have it printed somewhere, or you can print it out right there wherever your office is. And certainly makes it easy for you to execute on adding value to your agents is from a marketing and branding perspective.
Yeah, it's truly incredible how much is actually in there. And the truth of the matter is, you probably won't use a fraction of everything they have, but they literally, when you think of, like, did they think about this? They thought of it, and it's so plug and play and easy. I'm not a super high tech guy, but it can make someone that's not tech or doesn't have any kind of ability for artistic ability like myself to create like professional flyers or whatever you want to kick out in that marketing center.
So yeah, so here is the revenue share plan. This is one of the bigger opportunities that eXp has, and the way that I like to explain this opportunity is, when you think about the way that traditional franchises have grown, they would have the ownership at the top. They would have a region, and that region was something somebody may have paid $500,000 for, and that was the opportunity they were buying for $500,000 was the opportunity to grow a region by selling franchisees that go out and build bricks and mortar and recruit agents, but you would get a revenue share off of the royalties that agents would pay in your region up to the top, and you get a percentage of that royalty. So that was the opportunity. And that's traditionally how every real estate brokerage has grown. When you have a disruptive technology that creates a real estate office in the cloud, where you don't have to have a regional person to go out and sell a franchisee and to go out and build bricks and mortar. When you do away with all of that, it creates an opportunity, but it also creates the challenge of, okay, well, how is this company going to grow? And one of the things that Glenn Sanford did that was brilliant was he said, well, why don't we reward the agents and let them help us grow the company, and we'll give them revenue share off the agents that they bring into the company. And if this looks somewhat similar to maybe what you've seen if you were at Keller Williams, or if you've ever looked at their profit share program, it has 7 generations that you can earn revenue share. Now, the big difference is this is revenue share off the top, not profit share after all the expenses of hundreds of millions of dollars in offices around the country. This is revenue share off the top. So for every agent that you bring into the company, you unlock another level, as you can see here on this chart. When you bring in, every agent you bring in, you're going to make 3.5% of every deal they do until they cap. On the second level, you make a little bit more. So once you've brought 5 agents into the company, you would unlock that second level, which would be anybody that they bring into the company. You're going to make 3.8% of every deal that they do until they cap. And so on and so forth, all the way down to, if you brought 40 agents over into the company, you would reach 7 levels deep. It means a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend who tells a friend, and so on and so on. And it's really hard for us to depict what that could be in terms of revenue share. All I can tell you is it compounds like nothing I've ever seen. The agents who tell agents who tell agents who tell agents about this company, and the opportunity that creates in a passive income is bigger than what you probably could imagine, and is one of the main reasons that this opportunity existed, and reasons why we joined the company. And so that's essentially how that works. And the company, basically, it's a dynamically calculated each month, the gross commission, and they pay out 50% of the company dollar that this company brings in is guaranteed to be paid out in revenue share to agents, which is a lot of money. So very cool opportunity for you to jump in if you have an independent brokerage or a team, and start to create a passive income that would allow you to get out of production, or to, depending on what your model is, add a new line of revenue to your business model, or as a team allow you to step out of production. Or if you're a producing agent, and you're trying to get out of production and you're looking for a business model that would allow you to do that, this is a very good way to do that. That's what we have found.
Yeah.
Anything you'd add to that, Al?
I would like to add, because I think that if you're watching this, the chances of you being an entrepreneur and a business builder is probably pretty good. We're literally recording this special edition of eXp Explained for your type of mentality. That person who is always growing, someone who plans out and commits. And I can tell you this: when we started about 2.5 years ago with the company, and the first thing we did was I flew out to Dallas, met with you and Mike, and what we did was we tried to plan out where we would be in 3 months. We tried to plan out where we would be at the end of that first year of 2018. And to say that we literally blew the doors off of where we thought we would be is an understatement. And so when you were talking about the fact that it's grows exponentially and it's hard, the fact of the matter is that if you're watching this, you're probably an influencer. You probably know other people who are just like you, who, when seeing this opportunity, they're going to get it and they're going to see it. And that's how we've been able to exponentially grow. It's how I've been able to literally get out from underneath my brokerage, where I was still in production when I came over to eXp, not by choice, by mind you, but has been able to do that and grow revenue share. That's literally made me more profitable than I've ever been in the last 21 years of being a real estate agent. So kind of leave you with that.
No question. And really, this is the highest form of leverage you can imagine. Is, there are people that are going to join in your group underneath you on tier 4 or tier 5 or tier 6, and you're not even going to ever meet these people potentially and know who they are, but they're going to be out there telling other agents about this company and growing it. And the compound effect of that, and I can just tell you from my experience, that the compound effect in our group has been growing at about 6% a month, which that doesn't sound like a lot until you do the math. That means we would be doubling every year. And our group size would be doubling every year. So just an incredible opportunity to explore. And we're happy to jump on a call and show you what the real numbers have been for us, and show you what our experience has been too. So this is basically that breakdown, and showing it as a percentage. There is one of the cool things about this business model is every you get paid regardless of whether you've unlocked every level. So the expansion share is a percentage of the adjusted gross commission income. And you're going to see every transaction from every agent in that eXp enterprise. You'll see every transaction regardless of whether you've unlocked that level or not, because you're going to make a little bit of money. It'll be, that's not a whole lot of money. That 0.1% or 0.5% isn't a tremendous amount. That's not where you're going to get rich. But it will show you every transaction you're getting paid on. And what will happen is you'll see that, oh, you're a tier 5, which maybe you haven't unlocked. You had 150 transactions that you could have got paid on. And you didn't, right, on the exponential share. So you're going to see every transaction. And again, this is real time. And whenever an agent closes a transaction, for instance, if they close 3 deals in a month, if you bring over an agent that's doing a bunch of deals, that money, you're going to get 3.5% of all of that gross commission up until they cap. You're going to get that all in that particular month. So it happens in real time. It drops into our bank accounts on the 21st of the month, every single month from the month previous. And there's a tally that's, adding up every month. You can see that money growing. It's pretty unbelievable. So equity opportunities, obviously EXPI is uplisted to NASDAQ. You can go out and purchase the stock today if you wanted to. It's a publicly traded company. And what I would advise you to do is go back and look at the history of the stock. This company is a fast growth company. If you really study this company and look at it, it's debt free, and we have been building cash. If you understand how the SEC's requirements work, because this company is offering equity opportunities, is literally giving away the equity in the company to the agents for certain milestones we'll talk about here. You can earn equity in the company that the company shows as a loss as far as they're losing money, because on paper they're giving away so much of the equity to the agents, but in reality we're building cash and we're highly profitable, fast growth, and pretty much unstoppable at this point. So the sustainable equity plan, you can earn shares. When you close your first transaction at eXp, you're going to get some shares of stock in eXp. You're going to get shares of stock when you fully cap at the $16,000 cap. When you hit that, you're going to get some shares of stock for that. When you bring an agent, sponsor an agent that joins the company, and they close their first deal, you're going to get some more stock in the company. Now, this is stock that vests over 3 years. And it's just awards. They're just giving you awards as opposed to the trophies and the plaques and the things I've gotten at other companies. They're actually giving me stock and something that's an asset that I'll have, for my entire career. For those of you that are producing, or if you're going to join under one of the team models that we're going to show you here in a minute, you can actually earn that $16,000 that you pay in stock. You can earn that back. You can earn that cap back in stock. And there's some production goals and cultural goals that are required in order for you to do that. But if you're a producing agent or a top producing team, or a broker that's in production that's going to bring a bunch of agents over, there's a really good chance you're going to earn that $16,000 back in stock. And we'll show you how that works here in a second. So an agent equity program, you can enroll to take 5% of every transaction that you close, and you can purchase that stock at a 10% discount. So if you're closing a bunch of deals and you just want to have an automatic system in place where you don't actually have to write a check or take money out of your account and go purchase stock or save for the future, you can purchase the stock at a 10% discount, and that's going to happen automatically. And you can turn that on or off whenever you would like.
The only thing I would add to that, Jay, is that the stock plans were probably not the thing that got me most excited about this company when I first looked at it. It was really the revenue share plan. But I'm super excited and stoked about this stock plan now, because after 2.5 years, I've only been with the company 2.5 years. I fully enrolled in that agent equity program, as have many of my agents. And I've accumulated over $100,000 just in stock in the company. And that's not counting the stock that I'm actually buying on a monthly basis on the open market. That's just through these 2 programs that they offer. Both years that I've been with the company, and I'm going on my 3rd year, I'll be getting the Icon Agent Award for the 3rd time this coming year. And I love getting the $16,000 back in the form of stock every year that we hit that milestone with the team. And if you're a team leader and, you're watching this, or you're a brokerage and you have, I would say probably, 6 or 7 or more agents, chances are with your productivity, you're going to get this Icon Agent Award as well.
Okay, so what are the fees structure? What does it look like to join eXp? So there's a $149 startup fee to join eXp. That's going to also cover your first month's monthly fees for the technology and tools and training. Your commission and cap, it's an 80-20 split. It's a $16,000 cap. After that, you earn 100% commission for the remainder of your anniversary year. The monthly fees to stay active at eXp is $85 a month. All the technology that we talked about, all the technology you'll ever need, each agent's going to pay $85 a month for all those tools, all the training. And then per transaction fees, there's a $25 broker review fee and a $40 risk management fee which the broker review fee is per transaction, and the risk management fee caps at $500. That's your E&O essentially. So this is important to know, just because this is the main structure. If you're talking to an agent that's not at your company about joining eXp, and an independent agent wanted to join, this is pretty much the way that they would join. The big difference, and this is the part of the presentation that I think is probably harder to find this information out there, is what are all the ways that I could join my independent brokerage or my team? How could I merge that with eXp, and what would that look like? And eXp has a completely agile structure for teams and independent brokerages that we're going to talk about here. There's a self-organized team, which we'll talk about last, a standard team, which is a half cap for the team members, and then a mega icon team, which is a quarter cap for the team members. The standard team. So if you have less than 10 agents, you're going to come over as a standard team. The way that structure would look is you would have one team leader. If that's you, then you would have a $16,000 cap as the team leader. Your agents would come over on a reduced half cap. For agents on the team, that would be $8,000. The minimum split that your agents would have to be on with you as the team leader would be a 75-25 split, meaning you need to retain as the team leader 25% of the commissions from those agents for them to be able to get that $8,000 half cap. There's a team agreement that would be required in writing that would have to be approved by eXp, and you would have to provide your team roster to eXp, obviously, and you need to have closed 6 million or 30 transactions in the past 12 months. The mega icon team, which would be more than 10 agents, if you have more than 10 agents, or if you have 150 agents, whatever the case may be, more than likely this mega icon team is going to be the structure you might be looking at. You would still have one, full capping team leader, which would be probably you, 16,000, and then you actually have a reduced quarter cap for your agents on your team, meaning all the agents in your brokerage would come over on a $4,000 split to eXp is all they would have to pay. Same split, they need to be on at least a 75-25. So if the structure of your brokerage is a 75-25 and most of the agents are below 75-25 split, then this is going to be pretty easy to transition to eXp, because it's not a lot that the agent would have to pay, and it's certainly not a lot for you to have to pay in order to be able to leverage everything we just talked about. So there's still this team agreement required, a team roster is required, and you need to have closed 40 million or 175 transactions with at least 10 capping team members in the past 12 months. So that's the requirement there from a production standpoint to earn the opportunity to be a mega icon team. There's a 56,000 minimum floor cap, meaning your 10 agents minimum would be $40,000, right? 4,000 times 10, and then your 16,000, that's 56K. So that's the minimum. Every agent that you have is still going to be on a 4,000 cap. If you had another 40 agents, then they're all going to be paying towards that $4,000 cap themselves. But the minimum you have to pay in order to be able to offer that reduced cap of a quarter cap to those agents is 56K. So anything you want to add to either one of those two structures in discussion now?
Yep, sure. When I brought my team over, I was a independent broker of 10 agents, me plus 10 agents. So when I actually came over, I did come over and was approved for the mega icon team status. I think it's important to note that was 2.5 years ago. I came over with 10 agents. All 10 came, by the way. We can kind of go over on a private call if you're interested in, what that would look like. Because you really haven't, you have to just do the math, and we can certainly guide you and help you in that. Just reach out to us after this presentation is done, and we'll be happy to hop on. But I think it's also just important to note that today, as we talk to you, I have over 40 agents. So I've literally, because of this business model, because of the platform that eXp is allowed in this team structure, I've been able to grow my local team from 10 agents, a small indie brokerage of 10 agents, to over 40 agents. And like I said, we're hitting our cap requirements every year for this mega team. It's great. And if you're watching this and you don't have 10 agents, this is a great incentive for all of your agents to want to get on board and get your team over 10 agents, because they would all get their caps cut and have from $8,000 to $4,000. When I tell, smaller teams that are less than 10 about this mega team opportunity, the agency actually get excited. And I don't know about you, Jay, when we had our teams, when we had our teams and that were, 6 or 8 or 10 agents, they really weren't pro growth. They didn't want us to grow and get bigger. And the biggest thing is they just didn't have an incentive. There was nothing in it for them. And so my agents, we grew, we quadrupled in size, but I can tell you this, it wasn't because I was out pounding the pavement recruiting all these agents. My agents are bringing their friends over, and because they have a financial incentive to do that. So that's all I wanted to kind of.
That's a great point. No doubt about that. And so this last one is a self-organized team. And this is really where, it doesn't really matter what, we talk to a lot of different independents, and I think an argument could be made that Al and myself probably, our group has probably brought on the most independent brokerages, certainly the largest, and over to eXp. And so we've looked at a lot of different business models, and you might be 100% brokerage, or you might have, several agents. Maybe you have 25 or 50 agents and you got several of them on a 90-10 split. And that doesn't preclude you from bringing agents over to eXp. In fact, this self-organized team structure allows you to leverage, whatever agreement that you may have. Let's say you got an agent that's paying you 10% and you have an office and they've got a, nice little corner office they're utilizing, and you provide some value to them, and you want to keep that 10%. You don't want to lose that revenue from those agents that are not on a 75-25 minimum that's required for them to get the reduced cap. But this agent's clearly, the agents that are on a 90-10, or if you're, 100% shop and you got agents that are producing, they're going to get the $16,000 back in the form of stock if they're a producing agent. So that's an easy sell. We can get those agents on board with this plan because they're just going to get a ton more value at eXp and a ton more opportunity for basically, little or nothing in terms of real loss to them. So, if you have, whatever your structure may be, at this point, if you're looking deeply at this as a potential opportunity, then, it's time to do the math. Like, we have to get on a call and break down the math and look at, well, what are your agents' current splits? What's the current value that you're providing to them? What things are you going to continue to provide? What things are you not going to continue to provide if you were to do this? Which, generally speaking, what I see happen is you don't change anything. As far as the agent's concerned, everything remains the same. They're just getting all this additional added value. And, besides the fact that they're going to be partnering with us and a lot of an additional coaching and training and stuff that we provide to your agents that join as well. So it's, there's pretty much a way for anybody to join, and structure-wise. Mathematically, it almost always makes sense. There's very rarely that we run into a business structure where the math doesn't make sense. I think the only place that it's the hardest is if you are already a capped system, meaning you have a cap of 12 or 15 or 18,000. But if that is your business model as a brokerage right now, I don't know how in the world you're going to ever compete with eXp. So, looking at this business model and the opportunity, let's do the math and see if there's a way that we can make this a win-win for you. So that's kind of my take on it. Anything else you would add to that, Al?
Yeah, I mean, in this, I know that some of this jargon may seem a little confusing, self-organized team and mega team and all this. What we've done is we've implemented this self-organized team. We actually call it the Icon Partner Program for our team. We already have employees. We already are giving value to our team members, but there's agents who are high producing agents who they just wouldn't join our team. And there's probably, agents out there who maybe would never join your brokerage or your team if you're watching this. What this self-organized team structure allows you to do is actually partner with those agents at a smaller percentage possibly, and give them a different level of service that you would give your team member, for instance, where they can still plug into a lot of your systems, maybe even some of your assistants, such as listing coordination or closing coordinators. And that's kind of what we've been able to create. And now we actually have Icon agents that are producing at a super high level that would have never joined our team, but now they're partnered with us through this self-organized structure.
So if you're interested, the next step, and you're like, hey, well, what's the next step? I would say it's to jump on a call with either myself or Al, and we'll answer any questions you have and help you get clear, help you do the math, and help you come up with a plan. And, this is a process. It's not an event. It takes time. Don't go telling all your agents you're moving your brokerage over to eXp right away. Let's talk through this and have a conversation around it and see if it makes sense or if it doesn't make sense. So you can do that by going to askjkender.com eXplained.com or go to alstasic.com. Or if someone sent you this video, then you want to go back to them and ask them to schedule a call with us, and or schedule a call to get your questions answered. And we're happy to do that, and help you get clear and see if this is an opportunity that's a good fit for you in your business.
Yep. If you're anything like us, your mind's probably reeling right now, and maybe you're even thinking, man, this is too good to be true. This business model, right? Well, I thought the same thing. So I spent the next 60 days, and I know Jay did too, literally poking holes in this thing and doing my own research. And what we've been finding is that that's what most agents do as well. What we'd like you to do is feel free to check out Jay's YouTube channel, where you're going to find interviews with not just the top agents, but we've interviewed Glenn Sanford, Gene Frederick, some of the biggest leaders and thought leaders in this company. So feel free to check that out. But jump in our calendar. It's what we do every day. We'll help you get clear. I think the biggest mistake I made going into this, Jay, was because I didn't know what I didn't know, I drew assumptions in my mind of the answers that I had questions with. Mm-hmm. A lot of times I was wrong, and the answers that were actually correct were better than what I was thinking. So we would just invite you to hop on a call with us. We'll help get you clear. And we look forward to partnering with you at the best company in the world, eXp Realty.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon.